Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we'll cover the Baselworld 2019 releases from Seiko and Grand Seiko. We'll start off with probably the most popular, the new 6105 recreation called SLA033. 6105 is yet another iconic Seiko diver that was in production from 1970 to 1977 and was very popular with American soldiers in Vietnam. The watch got the nickname Captain Willard because it was worn by Martin Sheen's character of the same name in the movie Apocalypse Now. Over the years, the asymmetrical turtle case has made this watch iconic among collectors, and there are even some brands making their own versions of the same watch, like the Gauss has for years. With Seiko resurrecting one of their iconic divers each year, it was only a matter of time before we see this resurrected as well. Unfortunately, Seiko didn't go the same route as previous years, where they make a recreation, which is almost identical, limited, and very expensive, and a reinterpretation, which is a regular production, cheaper model that's not limited at all. With this, they only released the recreation, so this watch is limited to 2,500 pieces and will cost 4,350 euros or $4,950. Some will say that is too much. I personally don't want to comment on the price, but I can guarantee these will be sold out in a heartbeat, which leaves the rest of us hoping Seiko releases a cheaper, regular production model in the future. The watch itself has slightly grown compared to the original, so instead of the 44mm width, this one measures 45. That is not much of a difference, but sadly the lug-to-lug has grown from 46 of the original to 49 of the recreation. The watch is powered by the 8L35 movement that we know from the Marine Master 300, so a lower grade version of the 9S movement used in Grand Seiko models. It also comes with a double-domed sapphire crystal and 200 meters of water resistance. I wish Seiko gave it 150 meters for historical reasons, as those 50 meters less wouldn't hurt anyone and it would make the watch look cooler, at least in my opinion. Other differences compared to the original are the unidirectional bezel, where the original had a bidirectional, and the regular screw-in crown, where the original had a turn and lock crown. These two differences I actually like. The Prospex line got expanded with Prospex EX, with the introduction of 3 new models with 2 versions of each. So 2 for land, 2 for sky, and 2 for sea. All 6 share the same case shape and pretty much the size. So they're at 44.8mm in width, with only the C model being a 1mm thicker than the rest of the models at 15.7 versus 14.7. All versions are made of titanium with or without black hard coating. They all share the same family of 5R spring drive movements as well, with the land and sky getting a GMT version, while the C model got the time and date movement with a power reserve indicator. The prices are 5,000 for the land models, 5,500 for the sky, and 6,000 for the C models. I personally like the sky GMT on bracelet the best. The other models released include a couple of new Presage models that continue to promote Japanese traditional manufacturing. This time is the porcelain industry of a small town, Arita. The porcelain dials are handmade, and just like the previous lacquer Presage models, these have a very unique look that I'm sure will look much richer in person than on these photos. The lineup comes with 2 models, one with a power reserve indicator that uses the 6R27, while the regular 3-hand model uses a new 6R35 movement that is a 6R15 with increased power reserve to 70 hours. Probably the biggest disappointment is the fact Seiko celebrated 50th anniversary of both the Quartz Astron and their first automatic chronograph, the 6139, and didn't really market the proper way. The anniversary was celebrated with a new version of the GPS Astron that is slightly thinner than the current lineup, and has absolutely nothing in common compared to the original from 1969. Even though Seiko claims the design was inspired by it, I mean, take a look at it yourself and tell me if you see any similarity between these 2 models. The 6139 didn't get any appreciation at all, but we can expect a release of a quartz model that will most likely look similar to it. Now, if Seiko had a couple of Swiss managers on board, I can only imagine how much they could have milked on these two anniversaries. That Seiko took a bit too lightly, at least in my opinion. When it comes to Grand Seiko, I'm happy to see a new, smaller lineup with these manual wind spring drive models that measure 38mm in diameter and only 9.8 in thickness. I especially like the limited Platinum edition that redefines the word snowflake, as on this, even the case itself looks like snowdrifts. It's just amazing. Grand Seiko has also been expanded with this sport lineup, and unlike the behemoths from last year that measured, I believe, 46 or 47 millimeters, these are 44.5 or something like that. It's still big, but I'm glad to see they're shrinking it down, meaning that even Seiko realized that those sizes from last year were really ridiculous. Anyways, that's it when it comes to this coverage of Seiko's releases from Baselworld, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.